Enchanted English, Chapter 1, Lesson 4. Lesson 3 ended when a storm suddenly began. Uncle Henry was outside looking up at the sky and screaming, "A cyclone! A cyclone is coming!" Aunt Em ran out of the house to protect the cows and the horses. Dorothy and Toto were outside of the house. Listen and try to answer my questions as if you were Dorothy. You can hit pause and think if you need to, or just listen and relax. Don't try to memorize anything. On her way out of the house, Aunt Em said, "Hurry, Dorothy." What did your aunt say on her way out of the house? Did she say, "Don't hurry, relax"? No, she didn't tell me that. She didn't tell me to relax. She said, "Hurry, Dorothy, quick, run, go to the house." Your aunt told you to hurry, right? Yes, she told me to hurry. She said, "Hurry, Dorothy, quick, go inside." Did she tell you to go to the house or to a supermarket? To the house. She told me to go to the house. My aunt didn't say to me, "Go shopping, we're out of bread." She said, "Go inside and stay there." Did she tell you to stay in the house or to go out into the street? She told me to stay in the house. My aunt didn't want me to go out into the street. What were you supposed to do? Go to the house or stay outside? Go to the house. I was supposed to go to the house and stay there. So I did. I went inside and stayed there. Where did you go? Inside. I went inside. Where did you stay? In the house. I stayed in the house. Why did you go inside? Because that's what Aunt Em told me to do. She was on her way out of the house and said, "I have to help Uncle Henry." Did you have to help Uncle Henry? No, not me. I didn't have to help Uncle Henry. Aunt Em had to help Uncle Henry. Who had to help your uncle? Aunt Em. She had to help Uncle Henry, her husband. Who did Aunt Em have to help? A cow? No, not a cow. She had to help her husband. Dorothy was very frightened and ran inside the house. Where did you run? Inside or outside the house? Inside. I ran inside the house. I was outside when I heard Aunt Em scream, and then I ran inside the house. Did you move quickly or slowly towards the house? In other words, fast or slow? Quickly. I went to the house very quickly. I ran because I was afraid. I moved very quickly. How were you? How did you feel? Afraid. I felt very afraid. Were you scared or were you excited? I was scared. I wasn't excited. I was frightened. What frightened you? The dog or the cyclone? The cyclone. The cyclone frightened me. It really scared me. Toto was scared too, so he jumped out of my arms. Where did the dog jump from? Did he jump off a mountain? No, he didn't jump off a mountain. He jumped out of my arms. I had my dog in my arms and he jumped because he was scared. Why did your dog jump out of your arms? My dog jumped because he was scared. He was scared of the cyclone. Whose arms were they? Were they Uncle Henry's arms? No, they weren't his arms. They were my arms. Toto jumped out of my arms. Why did Toto jump out of your arms? Because he wanted to play? No, he didn't want to play. He was scared, and that's why he jumped out of my arms and hid under the bed. Where did the dog hide? Above the bed, right? No, not above it. He hid below the bed. He jumped and hid. Who hid under the bed? Did you hide? Not me. It was my dog who hid under the bed. I hid inside the house. The story. On her way out of the house, Aunt Em said, Hurry, Dorothy, go inside and stay there. I have to help Uncle Henry. Dorothy was very frightened and ran inside the house. Toto jumped out of her arms and hid under the bed. He was scared too. Then, something terrible happened. When did something terrible happen? Before or after you hid? After we hid. First we hid, and then something terrible happened. We had hidden before something terrible happened. How was the thing that happened? Was it fun? No, it wasn't fun. What happened was terrible, because the cyclone lifted our house up into the air. What happened to your house? Did it go up, or did it go down? It went up. Our little house went up. Did it go up by itself? No, the house didn't go up on its own, by itself. The cyclone lifted it up. The house was lifted up by the very strong wind. What happened because of the cyclone? Did you lift yourself up out of bed? I didn't lift myself up out of bed. Because of the cyclone, the house was lifted off the ground. It broke free of the ground and lifted up into the air. Who or what did the wind lift up? Did it lift you up? Yes, you could say that. Since I was inside the house, when it was lifted up, I was lifted up along with the house. How was the wind? Weak or strong? Strong. The wind was very strong. It was a cyclone that was blowing very hard. It was so strong that it lifted the house up into the air, and then it carried it very far away. When did it carry the house away? Before it lifted up, or afterwards? Afterwards. The cyclone lifted the house up into the air, and then carried it very far away. It had picked it up when it carried it away. The house was flying away very fast. What was the cyclone doing with the house? Moving it away or bringing it closer? Moving it away. The cyclone was moving the house away. The house was flying away, not moving closer. The wind was carrying it very far away. What did the cyclone do? Bring something or carry something away? Carrying something away, not bringing something closer. The cyclone didn't bring anything, but instead carried the house away quickly. Dorothy didn't know what to do. Did you know exactly what to do in this situation? No, I didn't. I didn't know what to do in this situation. I felt lost. How did you feel? Did you feel safe? Not at all. I didn't feel safe. I was lost. I didn't know what to do. All I wanted to do was cry. What did you want to do? Eat? No, not eat. Cry. I wanted to cry. Did you want Toto to cry? No, of course not. I didn't want Toto to cry. I wanted to cry myself, and I started to cry. What did you do? Start crying. I started to cry. Did you get nervous? No, I didn't get nervous. I started crying. I cried for quite a while. Minutes were going by, and hours too. How much time went by? Minutes? Yes, minutes went by. Then hours went by. Do you think centuries went by? No, I don't think that centuries went by. Not that much time went by. But a lot did, until I fell asleep. Who fell asleep? Uncle Henry? No, Uncle Henry didn't fall asleep. He didn't fall asleep. I fell asleep. And Toto probably did too. We fell asleep. Did all of you fall asleep, or did you go somewhere? Yes, we fell asleep, and we were going somewhere because the house was flying and we were inside. We stayed in the house, which was in the air, and we were asleep. Where were all of you? In the house. We were in the house. We stayed in the house and slept as the house was flying. Were you sleeping in the house? Yes, we were sleeping in the house. The story. Then something terrible happened. The cyclone lifted the little house up into the air and carried it very far away. The house was flying away very fast. Dorothy didn't know what to do and started crying. But time was passing, minute after minute, hour after hour, and finally she fell asleep. Now, let's imagine that this part of the story takes place in the future with Dorothy's family. Imagine that in 2 years there will be a family in Kansas. One afternoon, something very strange will happen. Uncle Henry, the head of the family, and his niece Dorothy, who had a dog in her arms, will be in the backyard. The man will look up in the sky from the doorway of the house. He will tell the girl to look at it too. They will see the sky become dark, and it won't be blue anymore. They will be frightened by what they will have seen. Now, Dorothy tells what is happening to them in the present, right now. We're looking up at the sky together. What do we see? The sky is becoming dark. I am very frightened. Suddenly, a storm begins. It's raining and the wind is blowing very hard. Aunt Em is inside the house for now. Uncle Henry is yelling to her that a terrible cyclone is coming. Frightened, Aunt Em comes out of the house very quickly. She's running. She's running to protect the cows and the horses. Now, Dorothy tells the same story from the point of view of the women of the family. As you know, there were 2 women in our family. One afternoon, something very strange happened to us, to me and to my aunt. We were with Uncle Henry. We were very frightened when we saw the sky become dark. Uncle Henry yelled to us, "A cyclone! Quick! Dorothy and Em! Both of you have to hide. Go inside and stay there, please. I don't need your help here." Aunt Em ran outside anyway to protect the cows. At this point, my aunt and I weren't together. We were very nervous. Good thing Toto was with me. When I came inside, the cyclone lifted the little house up into the air and carried it very far away. Now, let's continue the story about you and Toto in the past tense. You already know Uncle Henry told you, "Look what's happening, a cyclone is coming." You saw the sky become dark very quickly. You were frightened by what you had seen. You and Toto, both of you, were very scared and hid under the bed. Toto jumped out of your arms and hid under the bed. Then, the cyclone lifted the little house up into the air with you inside and then carried you very far away. The house was flying away very quickly, and you didn't know what to do. But time was passing, minute after minute, hour after hour, and finally you fell asleep.